So here we have the S series, which is S for Sabre, Ibanez 470, very thin guitar. Like most of the guitars that I have, they're picked up used, and what I do is I just fix them up so they look like new again as best I can. Use them in a few videos and then they get sold. So this one here I picked up, and the owner really didn't take care of it. It's a 2001 model. I've cleaned up the body as best I can, so now it really looks decent. The pickups actually are cleaned. They were a disaster. They don't look clean. Same as the Floyd, the licensed Floyd at the end. That Floyd was utterly useless, so I fixed that. So now it functions and it stays in tune no matter how much you play with the whammy bar. The only thing I have a problem with, oh, and I should say the neck is beautiful on this. No adjustment required. Beautiful neck, very low action. Ibanez made really great necks back in the early 2000s and earlier. The only problem now is all the controls work except the tone controls, not too bad. The pot control, watch this. There's dead spots in it and scratchiness. On and off. So normally the fix for that, as many of you probably know, is you just take some electrical contact cleaner, which you use on any parts on the electrical portion of your guitar, and that gets rid of all the oxidization that's happened over the years and whatnot and cleans it up. And 95% of the time this is the fix. However, in this case it didn't work. So what I'm going to do here is quickly is I'm going to change the pot in this guitar and show everybody how that's done with another pot. So I'm going to flip the guitar over, show you the back, show you how to clean the pots with the electrical cleaner, and then just in case that does fix if you have a similar problem, and then I'll do a quick pot change and you'll see how it's done. This will be really quick. So we're going to take this plate off here and we're going to take a look at the components. Alright, so the back plate is all unscrewed and there it is, off. You can see the pots, and it's nice to see there's a little bit of shielding on the back plate. Toss that to the side. So here you have your pot. So this is my problem child right here. That's the volume pot, and that's the tone pot. And the other components inside the guitar are the 5-way selector switch right here, and this is a jack where you plug in your guitar. Not a lot of room in these S models because they're so thin in design, so Ibanez has pretty much cramped everything into this tiny little space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in on the volume pot, the problem child, and I'm going to show you quickly one thing, which was, I mentioned earlier, here we go, I have it. So if you have a volume pot or a tone pot or any control on your guitar that's scratchy, even your 5-way selector switch, all you need to do is buy this inexpensive contact cleaner. So when you're putting it on a pot, I'm just going to show you, I've got the little hose. The objective is to get it in the hole, which is down here. So in this location right here is a hole inside the pot, right in there. If you spray in this location, spin your pot on the other side a few times, let it dry, spin again, all the scratchiness and everything should be gone. And you can do that on your pots. One final thing to note is if you're going to change your pots, just make sure you know what the resistance is value. You need to know the resistance value. So right here, it's upside down. It says 500 and then the letter K. So that's a 500K. So replace them with the same type of pots. And most pots cost about, $5, $2, $6, whatever. They'll be under 20 bucks. Even for a good one, it'll be under 20 bucks. So anytime you're going to change up the electronics in an instrument, it's a good idea to snap a photo of exactly what it looks like before you start. So you have that way if you mess up anything you can put everything back the way it was. So before I take the pot out, I'm going to yank off the volume knob, which like on any guitar is just pull it straight off, not a big deal. And then I'll just take this here nut off and the pot will fall right through. So however you wish to get the nut off, just be careful not to damage the finish of the guitar. Here I'm using long nose pliers or needle nose pliers just to slowly spin it to get it going. And then I should be able to remove it with my hand. There we go. Just don't lose any of the pieces, the nut, the washer. And there you go. Your pot can be pushed right through. So if I flip the guitar over, there's the pot. And that's the problem child. So all that has to happen now is the solder has to come off the back. And we're all good. And just to show quickly, if you look in here, you can see, if I zoom in, there we go. That's the location I was talking about, right in here, where if you have some contact spray, put this contact spray cleaner in that hole, spin the dial, and that should clean up your pot. If it doesn't clean it up fully, well then you have to replace the pot. So the next step is pretty simple. I'm just going to take a little soldering iron right here that's plugged in already. I have some extra solder. I just have to touch the solder that's on the pot. The wires are all going to come falling right off, and then I just put the new pot in place and make sure I just solder the wires into the exactly same location. That's why I took a photo, and then put the pot back in place. So I'm not going to take 20 minutes and show all that. I'll just do it and show you what happens. Alright, so the new pot is in. It looks pretty good. My soldering job isn't that great. I'll just take the amp off of standby. And now the buzz you hear is not the guitar. It's actually the lights in the room just to shoot light on the video. It causes a buzz through the amp. So here we go. I'm just going to hit the strings. Try the volume control. No scratchiness, works perfect. So here we have the guitar with the back off, and I've left the back off just in case I have to make any final adjustments. One thing I've noticed is with the new volume pot installed, it's actually cleaned up the sound a bit. I still have the same distortion, but a lot more articulate. It's not so dead sounding and muddy. It's very clean. So I've got it attached to the orange amp behind me. It's not mic'd. You just hear it through the camera volume. And it sounds pretty good. So I've got the volume on full. And just if I touch lightly and hit a few notes, it sounds pretty decent. There you go. Until next time.